Hi guys, how are we doing? Dan Hancock here, the Mental Health PT, and welcome to another Truth Be Told podcast. Today's episode has been taken from a previous Instagram live video that I did with the amazing Imogen Townley, who's best known for being in Ibiza Weekender, Magaluf Weekender, and really being one of the earliest reality TV stars to take the UK by storm, and one of the original influencers, if you would like to call her that. Imogen's journey has been absolutely incredible, and she opens up about her own mental health during her rise to stardom, opens up about anxiety, opens up about how fitness saved her life, and really what we can do as a community in order to help each other and inspire each other. It's an absolutely amazing episode. Apologies in advance, the audio is not good at all, so I would recommend you probably watch this on YouTube. If you're listening to this on Spotify, you might want to give your ears some TLC afterwards. Guys, I hope you enjoy the episode, and if you aren't already, please follow me at Mental Health PT on Instagram, or Dan Hancock, the Mental Health PT on Facebook. And if you enjoy this episode, get a screenshot, put it up on your stories, and spread the good word. Enjoy.
Hello! I'm like, bear with me, everyone. I'm not used to lives. Let's see this way.
Yeah, that could have went wrong. We've got it.
Let me just hire you up as well, because I don't know if I'm on full volume. I think I am. Yes, I'm on.
Good. How are we doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm sorry as well about me tardiness. That was my fault that we're half an hour late. You know, that's one
everyone.
thing. Even as I've got older, that's one thing I've never got good with, is like timekeeping. I think I can do a million things in one day and I can't.
So good. You're here now. Right, we'll wait a minute and wait on everyone to join. So, guys, basically, for all of those who are watching here so far, my name is Dan Hancock. I'm the Mental Health PT. Basically, my job is to help people become fitter and healthier and happier through focusing on their mental health through exercise and fitness. And I'm an absolute massive fan of Imogen's, and been keeping tabs.
Don't have no rest.
I've been keeping tabs on her journey over the last little while, and we've decided to put this video together because I think Imogen, and you guys will agree, has an amazing story about her journey through reality TV and stardom and to where she's at now. And I think the best way to say it is, when I first wrote to Imogen, I said, in a world full of sheep, isn't it amazing when somebody's different? So that's the reason.
I think that was the line that got me, and I was like, I'm in. Because obviously as well, I've never really had much like live sort of talks or that since I kind of left TV. Obviously I've still very much had an active platform, but I've been doing quite a lot of, I suppose, like soul searching, as they say. So I found over the years, and I don't know if it's with ages yet, I have got a lot more private. But obviously when you reached out to me, Dan, I was like, no, do you know what? There is a story to tell, do you know what I mean? And it's like a decade in a career, you know. It's crazy how quick time goes, and there's so much like people do see, but then there's a lot that people don't see and don't understand. So I do think, like you said, it's important to share the messages of, the good, the bad, and all the in between, really.
Yeah, that's it. And like you said, I think it's so important for people to see the real story, and it doesn't need to get too deep. Nothing like that needs to happen. But I think it's important when you have this following and you have these people that look up to you and you're inspiring these people, that you should be like, right, well, here's the true story, here's the real story, here's how it all sort of panned out. So that's what we're going to do for all of you. So, right, without further ado, Imogen, so tell me, let's go back to the start. Now, you originally didn't actually want to be on TV, did you?
No, do you know what? It's mad. People always ask me, they always say, oh, how did you get on TV? How did you apply? Like, did you go to loads of auditions for many shows before you got chose? And like with me, like I don't think anything's a coincidence, and I am a believer in fate, most definitely. More so as I've got older throughout my career. So I actually got a message on Facebook. So I've been living abroad, and I've not long got back to Liverpool, and I think I was in my bed, I was on my sister's laptop. God, this is years ago, and I think I was on Facebook, because I think Twitter was just about, Instagram didn't really exist back then. And I got this message off a page called Summer Workers Abroad. Now, obviously, people who are workers will know, but if you don't, like, there's a lot of Facebook pages. So before you go and live like somewhere like Magaluf, Zante, Ayia Napa and stuff like that, there'll be Facebook pages, where you can sort your accommodation, you can sort your job out before you actually fly to the country. So there was this page called Summer Workers, something it was, and they messaged me, and they were like, oh, hi. They were like, we're a production company called 24. They were like, we are looking for enthusiastic, workers abroad, reps for a new Fly on the Wall documentary. So The Weekender wasn't actually meant to be a reality show, which is crazy. It was meant to just be like a one-off Fly on the Wall documentary. And they were like, we've been following your Facebook, like looking at what you've been doing. You seem loads of fun. Can we speak to you? So I was a bit like, and I was just like, yeah, go on then. I'm just sitting in ours. Didn't really think nothing of it. And they were like, can we have your number? So they phoned me, and I was chatting to them. So they were like, so how did you move abroad? And I was like, oh, I just booked a one-way flight. I had nowhere to live. I had no job. And I just was like, this will either make me or break me kind of thing. And got chatting to them, and they were like, oh, have you got a spare like 20 minutes? They were like, the head producers here, they want to speak to you. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I'm speaking to the producers, and then they're like, oh my God, we love you. Can you come to London in like 2 days? And I was like, no, I'm skint. I can't afford the train to London. And I was like, and I've got a new job. I think I had a job trial for a bar in town or something. I was like, no, I'm starting my new job, blah, blah, blah. So with a bit of swaying, they were like, come down. And like, I went down, and like, I met them. And then literally from there, I just like got on the show. I'm going to be completely honest, and I've obviously never ever said this to ITV or the production.
Best part of the full story. Carry on.
Yeah, you know this bit. I've never admitted this to ITV or the production company. So when they were obviously saying about going on this show, now I was back in the UK, bear in mind, and all my friends were like back in Magaluf, living it up, raving, having a ball, and I was skint and couldn't get there. And obviously they said, like, if you do this show and you get on this show, they were like, we'll pay for your flight, your accommodation will be covered, and also you'll be getting paid to film. So I was like, bing, light bulb moment. I was like, well, if I say yeah, then I can get back to Maga, everything paid for, be back with all my mates. I was like, oh my God, like opportunity. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then obviously when I got over there, the reality was no, you were in a hotel, 24-hour surveillance filming, you couldn't really see your friends outside the hotel. But that was kind of one of my main reasons I said yeah, was because I was skint and I wanted them to pay for my flight.
So it's like already, I love that, already right from the get-go you've talked about something which is quite interesting. So straight away you had this amazing sort of, what is this going to be like? But then once you get there, the reality was you're in this hotel, you can't actually see some of your friends. So I guess my question will be, I suppose that was a little bit of an insight very, very, very early doors into potentially what it could be like going forward. But before we get to all of that, tell me, right, you're in this whirlwind. What were some of the highs? What were some of the things that were going on during this time when you first started filming?
God, it was so bizarre, but at the same time, it was like so natural. I know that sounds insane, but I think the way like they rigged the hotel up and the way they set the cameras up, you just mic'd up 24/7. Like at the beginning days, the Magaluf days, you weren't really interrupted. Like I said, it wasn't a reality show; it was a Fly on the Wall documentary, so you were kind of like left to your own devices in that sense, and they just literally filmed you all day long and got loads of content. So like nights out and that were just insane, because obviously I'd already lived in Magaluf, so like it was going out with my friends going, Imo's back, why has she got a camera crew with her? And it'd be like, hey, and like It was an amazing experience in the sense that like we met some incredible people, you know, not just like the guests that came on the show and the reps, you know, also like the crew, the production company I work for, 240, they become like your family because you're spending every day with the crew around you, speaking to you and stuff. And then obviously I think highlights from it will probably be how it kind of then led on with my life, you know, to then go to Ibiza to do the Ibiza Weekender. I also, as well, because of the Magaluf Weekender, got a job as a breakfast presenter on Juice FM Radio, which is now Capital FM in Liverpool. And that obviously, in a sense, was just incredible. I've introduced everyone from Ed Sheeran, Kylie Minogue, Tiny Temper, just so many artists, so many commercial artists. I've hosted festivals for like 60,000 people, and by doing the Magaluf Weekender, like it just opens up an avenue to a life that I never ever considered, but also I probably never ever dreamed that someone, a little scouser like me from Liverpool, would ever get. Do you know what I mean? I was like, why me? Do you know, I've just been running around getting drunk every day.
No, I think it's amazing. Again, it shows how one small opportunity can potentially turn into something else. So we've talked a little bit there about the highs and everything, how it was going well, and it was turned into a little bit of a whirlwind. When did you start to feel, and again, me and Imogen discussed this the other day, so it's only going to be things that she feels comfortable talking about. When did you feel, if anything, things started to go a little bit sour for you?
So I always remember right at the very beginning, you know, before the episodes went out and before the show actually aired, you know, we were very much briefed. You know, you have a psych test to make sure that you are mentally stable to kind of, you know, deal with it before you go into filming. You also have someone there to support you when you're coming out of filming. And I always remember at the beginning when they were saying, you know, like I said, Instagram wasn't really about it, it was Twitter. And they were like, everyone make Twitter accounts, like be Weekender at the name. And I remember them saying to me, Imogen, we don't think you should have social media. And I was like, why? Why can't I have social media? And they just said, we don't know if you'll be able to handle the pressures of it. Because I remember the words exactly was, as soon as you go onto TV, you go from being a normal person to being a character. And I think that is very, very much what happened. Like I said, you know, you try and focus loads, obviously, on the positive comments, you know, the positivity from it, you know, the people coming up, like saying, oh, it's a lovely feeling to know that you're entertaining people when they're watching you. But then also came, I think we were only 3 episodes in, and I actually went out for a few drinks with my sister. Didn't think nothing of it. Didn't think I'd be that well known by then. And I actually got attacked in town, and a lad actually punched me in the face and broke me. Is that your cheek? I was going to say jawbone then. And like cracked my cheekbone, and I ended up in hospital. So quite early on, it was like, whoa. Okay, like this isn't exactly what I expected. And then I think from just going through experiences like that, you know, not everyone's going to love you, and there is a lot of jealousy out there. And I think in the sort of social scene of going out and drinking, people are very much a lot more confident in themselves, where they will just come up to you and go, I don't fucking like you, sorry, but you know, or like you're this, you're that, or they'll like be dead confrontational with you. So my anxiety, I suppose that's where like I got anxiety from them. So I think over the years, just with certain things happening, it became a build up then, and it built up to the point where like especially when I worked at the radio station, like I couldn't walk into town to go and get me lunch on my own because I was too scared. You know, I couldn't go to busy public places. I think at one point, because it was getting quite bad, I used to have to get like my lad's cousins to come out with me and the girls on nights out, because they wouldn't just go for me, they'd go for my sister, they'd go for my friends. And I was just like, it was a side of it that I was a bit like, okay, like I wasn't really sure it was going to be like this. So I think like once you're kind of known and you're going out and everyone's like staring at you, pointing at you, shouting things at you, like I had a girl who threatened to attack me on Mother's Day in front of my own nan. Like, it was bizarre. I had some very, very bizarre experience of it. Are we still there? I don't know. Are you there? I don't know if you froze, sorry.
So I'm back
So
now.
yeah, so I think for me then, I had to kind of understand that I wasn't just a normal person anymore, in a sense where I couldn't just go out and wouldn't get stopped for pictures, or people wouldn't come up to me and say stuff. And I think I had to quite quickly change my mindset, and it makes you feel a bit different, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you think so? We've got a couple of questions leading on from it, and do you generally just think that in the position you were in, or anyone else who's on TV, or maybe because of the nature of the TV that you were on, do you think that these online trolls and these people, like these awful things that have happened to you on the street, do you think that's just part of the package? Do you think it just comes hand in hand with it?
Yeah, 100%. I do. I think, like, it's sad in a way. Like I'm saying, there's so much positivity, you know, like, I've met some incredible people, you know, incredible people who've loved the show and supported it, and I've had some amazing, lovely things said to me, but I've also had my fair share of negativity. And like I said, I think it just comes down to jealousy. I think the first couple of years, especially, like, because like touching on like the fitness side of it, like I was a bigger girl. I don't know if we froze again. Have we froze?
I'm back. Keep pausing.
Are we still there?
I'm back.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Carry on.
Yeah. So like I said, so when I started in the show, obviously, you know, I was a bigger girl. You know, the only other obviously there was Geordie Shore, but the only reality show on sort of kind of like the mainstream station like ITV was Townley. So obviously that was very glitz, very glam, very, you know, everyone's dead pristine, everyone looks gorgeous. And then I think I came into the show very much just me. So I never ever thought about like, oh, I don't look good, or you know, or like that outfit's not nice, or I shouldn't have worn this, shouldn't have worn that. I was just very much, I'm me, this is who I am. But then that's when people start kind of like picking you apart. So for about 2 years, I got it very, very heavy. I think I used to cry myself to sleep a lot at night. I think some of the worst comments I think I got was like, someone told me I was more ugly than seeing a dead baby on the side of the street. I was told I used to get pick stitched to next to Miss Piggy. You know, I got told people that I was so ugly and disgusting that I should die. And like, when I was young, do you know what I mean? So I proper took it on. I actually like started to believe what people were saying about me. Like I wasn't good enough and I wasn't pretty enough and I didn't deserve to be on TV because I didn't look or act a certain way. And you know, it did really affect me self-esteem, and you know, it really made me, you know, question myself as a person for many years. But then on a positive side from that, it then also made me go, well, maybe I should start kind of looking after myself a bit more. Maybe I should, you know, consider like what I'm eating and, you know, the way I look and things like that. Because I'm not saying I was like obese or anything, but I was unhealthy. I used to drink every day, eat takeaways every day. That was just my lifestyle. So even though it was hard and it was negative, it then also sparked within me something that I wanted to do for myself. And then I actually flipped it on its head. So I took all the negative comments and I took all the things that people used to say about me and the way I looked, and I used that as a passion to do better for myself. Like I remember, like I used like such a gym head, and like I'd go to the gym and think I cannot be bothered doing it today. And I know this sounds insane, but I would go onto my social media, I would find the comments of people saying nasty things about me, and then I would use that as my drive in the gym, then to get in the gym, get the job done, smash my session. So you can take it as a positive, but I know for a lot of people they find it hard to kind of, you know, not let it get to them and not take it personally. It did take me a few years to not take anything personally, because at first you think everything's a personal attack on you, but it's not. People don't know yet, you know what I mean? And there's no wrong or right way to dress. There's no wrong or right way to look. So you've got to stay true to yourself.
Well, that's it. And so I think that's an interesting point, because what's happened is you've had this adversity, you've had these people saying these awful things to you, and instead of, yeah, of course it's going to have an effect on you. It would have an effect on anyone. But what you've done is instead you've tried to turn that into positive and be like, right, well, I will take some things on board, but I want to change myself to become fitter and healthier and look after yourself, like you said. Do you think that there will be a lot of people or reality TV stars that then will take this personally, or do you feel as if, so I suppose it's a funny one, because what you've done is, yeah, you've one, taken some things on board and you've wanted to change, but then two, I suppose in the long run, and we'll get back to this later, to where you are now, it has also taught you just to be yourself as well.
Yeah, 100%. There's a fine line with it. I think more so the earlier days as well, because like I said, Instagram didn't exist. It was mainly like Twitter. It was hard not to take things personal, but I think now, because, you know, the platforms have broadened, the sort of jobs you can do as well. It's not just reality TV. You can be, you know, an Instagrammer, and I think it's, like, to be honest, just anyone nowadays. You don't even have to be in the public eye to get shit off people, really. Do you know, it's just, it's so sad to say it, but it's like, it's become the norm. Do you know what I mean? But I think now there's a lot more awareness to it, and I think now a lot more people, like, a prime example, if someone said a nasty comment about me on one of my pictures, then that would then spark loads more people to say the same nasty comment about me on the same post. Whereas now, I find when you look, if someone says a nasty comment about someone, everyone's getting on the defence for them. Everyone's got the back. Everyone's defending them. So I do that. There definitely has been a tipping point in it further down the line. But I just think that is through, you know, like campaigns, people speaking up, awareness. And I think, you know, I think it's good that at this sort of stage with the younger generations as well, teaching them that, you know, you don't need to be, it's not teaching them not to troll. It's like, it's teaching them that if they get them jealous feelings or that envy for someone, that, like, you know, it's not about that. Don't react on it. You know, it's learning to kind of be happy within yourself in your own life. And if you see someone doing well, use that as inspiration. Use that to spark your motivation and inspiration instead of it turning you nasty and bitter. Yeah,
and that's it. And again, isn't it? It's crazy that this is the world that we live in now. That someone would much rather come and say something negative as opposed to saying something positive. They'd much rather say something abusive than to say something kind. And unfortunately, it is the world that we live in at the moment. But like you said, hopefully these movements are going to help people and realise and be taught from an early age. Yeah, it's not just it's getting to the root of that and for how people can deal with taking it in. I had quite an important question to ask, and it's important to say to everyone here right now that this isn't us speculating or anything like that, and there's obviously other things and massive factors in hand. But we'll have things like on Love Island, the tragic stories with Sophie and with Mike, and obviously most recently with Caroline Flack. And again, this is in no way speculation. Me and Imogen are in no way to say whatever caused anything. But do you think that social media and the fame has a part to play in these things?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And do you know what? I can speak from experience. One of the main reasons why it was easier for me to kind of, as I got older, step out of this sort of industry and kind of take time off for myself to find me and who I am is because I got like severely depressed. Like I got to the point where like I didn't want to live anymore. I couldn't leave my bed, let alone my house, for weeks on end. And I just think you have to weigh it up. I'm not saying everyone who is in the public eye will experience this, but I think if you are someone who does experience this within the industry, then you have to take a hard look at what's more important to you: a career, a status and money, or your well-being and your mental health. And for me, my mental health and getting better and getting to a point where I loved life, I don't know, where I loved life and enjoyed life instead of dreading it, that was just more important than any sort of status and any sort of fame.
Yeah, 100%. And then thanks so much then for sharing that as well, because it just goes to show that you can't judge a book by its cover, and people who have it all, and maybe people aspire to have fame and followers and things like that. So I think it's really important that you shared that with us, so people know that these things can affect everyone, and it's really brave to speak out about it. Imogen told me about it the other day. I think it's so important for people like yourself to be open and honest about these things, and the more people like you who do that, the more people that will open up, and it will help make mental health conversational, and people will be able to speak about it freely, and these things are happening now. So absolutely amazing. So we spoke about some of the ups and the downs at the start there. Now, everyone watching this video who follows you will know that you've still got a foot in the door, but you've taken a little bit of a step away from the limelight, and you've touched on a couple of reasons why. So tell us a little bit now, what is it that you're doing? Well, tell us again the reasons for you doing that. You mentioned the challenge, and tell us a little bit about why you're doing that, and then start to tell us a little bit about what is Imogen doing now.
Yeah. Okay. So so I think, do you know what it was? I think I got to about 26, 27, and I was filming Weekender in Ibiza, and like we'd be on the nights out, we'd be drinking, everything would be going on, and just something in me, something in me was a bit like, I don't know if this is where I belong anymore. Like, I don't know if this is like, it's like I've kind of done my bit here and I need to take a step out. And I wasn't sure, but I'm going to be like completely honest, because like everyone has an ego, do you know what I mean? And I think I had a lot of people down here saying, like, I think one Christmas I sat my family down at Christmas dinner and was like, 2016, I was like, right, I've made the decision. And they were like, what? And I was like, I'm leaving my career, I'm moving to Australia, and I'm starting a new life. And I legit like wanted to do that, and my family were like, no, don't do that, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, and like I told other people, and they were like, don't leave your career, like so many people want that life, you've got it, you were dead lucky and all that. So I kind of held on a bit longer than necessary, and was still pursuing sort of getting other work and other jobs after Weekender. And I actually was meant to be going on the challenge on MTV in America. So I'd been to London, I'd done all my medicals, signed my contract. I was signing my contracts, everything was sorted. And something in me was like, I don't know if I should be doing this. Now, the fitness aspect of it and the way the show works, where, you know, you're traveling all around the world, you're doing challenges, which is, you know, physical and mental challenges. I was like, oh my God, this is right up my street. Because at the time I was training in martial arts as well. So I was like, yeah, I'm defo game for this. I want to do it. Then I started looking into the show, and I started looking into the dynamic of the house situation. So you live in a house with like so many people, and at the end of the day, you're all competing for $1 million, and $1 million is a lot of money, and people will do crazy things for money, mentally and physically. And that's what I was seeing with the show, and I was like, I don't know if I could mentally put myself through that sort of environment. I was like, I don't know if I would mentally be strong enough, or whether I actually just want to put myself through that. So yeah, it was getting closer to the leaving day, and I was like, okay, well, I've done everything now, I've got to go. And then I just woke up one morning and I just went, I'm not going. I was like, I'm not doing it. And I rang my management at the time, who was furious, and I just went, I'm not going. I was like, I'm not doing it. I was like, I don't think mentally it's going to be any good for me. I feel like I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it. And I was like, and I just don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to put myself into situations for the entertainment of other people, which isn't good for my mental health. I was like, so I'm not going. So I didn't go, and everyone was like, you're mental. It was $1 million. And I was just like, and now I was like, but I knew in my heart, it wasn't right to go. And at this point, the fame and the money wasn't enough, so it wasn't enough of a pull to do something. So yeah, so I didn't go. And then I think after that, it was kind of like, okay, who do I want to be then? So I was like, if the sort of reality TV world isn't where I feel like I sit anymore, who do I want to be and where do I want to go with my life? And I'm not gonna like say it's been easy. It's been hard because I've always been known. Have we froze again? I can just see a little spinning thing.
All right, I keep on coming in and out. Carry on.
Are we okay?
I'm back now. I'm back.
Yeah. So it's been hard, but I think I've just kind of had to like take a step back and figure out like who I am before I went on telly. Like a decade of my life was about drinking, partying, going out, which was absolutely, you know, I had some of the best times in my life. But now I don't drink anymore because I think I'm a lot more fun. I'm a lot better person, and I'm a lot happier when I don't have alcohol. So I just naturally don't drink. You know, I'm not really into partying. I like to, you know, go out with friends, go camping, go and have fires down by the beach, go hiking, go travelling. And I'm just like, I'm at a point now where I'm just kind of figuring out who Imo is now that she's not the girl off the telly. So it's exciting. Maybe sometimes I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? But it's a journey. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a journey that at some point everyone will go on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to come back to that again in a second. I'm going to ask you a couple more questions about what it is that you're doing now. But I just want to jump back to something that you mentioned. This is something, again, that me and Imogen spoke about the other day. So MTV, the challenge, there was this massive prize money available. Obviously, because it's over in America and because there was other celebs going on it, there would probably be lots of other opportunities for you to do it. But you prioritised yourself and your own mental health and your morals first. Now, as a PT, one of the biggest issues I have is young, well, particularly females, but young people in general coming to me and saying that they've had some sort of been promoted some quick fat loss diet or some fad or something like that. And it's so difficult for me to try and to explain to them why it is wrong and how it is wrong. Now, you have obviously been in a position where some of these companies have approached you, and again, you've taken the moral high ground and you've put your morals first, and you've turned things down, haven't you?
Yeah, I won't mention the one particular brand, but it's quite well known. And they actually contacted my management and said, we'll pay Imogen £1,000 if she will say that the weight loss she went through from the end of Magaluf and then going into Ibiza, because I had a year out, and then I made me big comeback in Ibiza, you know, with, you know, it was like, who's this girl, like size 6, like, you know, they couldn't see me face, and I was like, I'm back. And I'm not going to lie, Twitter went into meltdown. I think I was trending within the first 5 minutes in the UK, which I was buzzing about. That's me, you go, woo! Yeah, so this brand had come and said, we'll pay Imogen £1,000 if she says that she went through that transformation and lost all that weight because she used our products. So I nicely, in the nicest possible way, told them to go and F themselves. Because that was my hard work. I was like, I could have done with the grand, I'm not even lying. But when you're not filming on TV, people think you're minted, you're not earning. So obviously, naturally, reality stars went into product placement and advertising. And I will hold my hands up, I probably have, you know, promoted a detox tea before I've actually tried it myself and reviewed it, you know, and I think that was me being young and me being naive, do you know what I mean? And I'll accept that and I'll own that, and I know now that I've done that, I have a chance with my platform to show people the other side of it, you know, not to believe it and do your research and stuff like that. But yeah, I think for me, especially with the fitness side, like I worked so hard to, you know, to lose the weight, to live a healthier lifestyle, and I just thought, I'm not for money gonna let someone else take the credit for it. I don't care. They could have offered me £100 I still would have told them to get lost.
So there's that, yeah, there's the reason. Obviously, it was yours. You've done it on your own. You wouldn't want someone else taking the credit for it. But then again, it's this buying into a product. So I know the answer to this, but it's just for everyone else. Do you feel that yourself and other or influencers, what we call them, do they have responsibility to the younger generation to actually refuse some of these products? And although, like you've mentioned, yeah, we don't understand the personal situations. We don't understand that that is an income to a lot of these people. But do they still have a responsibility to hold their hands up and be like, no, this could have a negative effect on other people?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think, like I said, now that I'm older, like, and I look back, do you know what I mean? I don't ever look back with regrets on my life, because I think it's just naturally as you get older, you start to understand. Look, I know people used to go to me like, oh, you're an influencer, like, you know, you've got a responsibility. And when I was younger, I used to be like, no, I don't. No, I don't. Like, I didn't ask to be like the person who's responsible for everyone else's decisions and blah, 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 do you know what I mean? Whereas now, I'm like, yeah, it is our responsibility to do it. Like, there's so many more healthier ways and lifestyle choices that as an influencer we can promote. Like, I do work with a brand in America because I use their fitness app, especially since I've been in isolation. You know, I follow their fitness plans, I use their fitness app, so I am happy to promote that because I use it myself. But I think with the sort of the fad diets and the shakes and the teas, it is up to us, because a lot of people take our word for gospel. It's mad. It's like, you know, you think, oh, everyone will research it themselves. They won't. They believe in you so much and they look up to you so much, especially the younger ones. It's like whatever comes out your mouth is gospel. So you've got to be very, very careful, and you've got to be very, very aware of that, I think, defo.
Yeah, good. And again, I think I said this to you when I first spoke to you. I think it's amazing that you're one of the people that's coming out and starting to speak against it now. So hopefully there will be others that come out and do it too. So now you've told us a little bit about fitness. So tell everyone at the moment, what role and what importance does fitness have in your life at the moment?
I think it's like I said, so few years ago, obviously, after taking quite a lot of trolling for the way I looked, obviously, as I said, that kind of pushed me and gave me the inspiration to start on a fitness journey. But then what I found was I obviously went in it for all the external reasons, which I know a lot of people do. But then what I found as time went on is it wasn't just externally benefiting me with my body getting better, healthier. It was also mentally as well. Like, became my therapy. Like, it's such a buzz when you like see your progress when you're in a gym and you smash a target and things like that. And it gives you like the motivation and the willpower within yourself to know that you can do it. And it was I'd say the last few years especially, it's definitely become more, because now obviously with me, I'm happy with my weight. I've been happy with my weight, I'd say, for the last year or so. But I'm still very, very much into my fitness, because I'm not training to lose weight. I'm not training to change my body. I just think training and being active and exercise is so important for your mental state of mind as well, that I think, you know, it's like when people are like, you know, suffer with depression and stuff like that. It's like if you would give them a gym membership for a month and then, like, you know, got them to go to the gym and all that, then you could see the positive effects that the gym would have on people's state of mind. So yeah, it's gone from all about external to being obviously more about the wellness in my mind as well as my body.
Yeah, brilliant. And so for people who don't know me as well, I'm known, like I said at the start of the video, as the mental health PT, because that is what I focus on. And what I say to people is, if someone comes through the door to me and initially it's to do with fat loss or body image, or the way they're not happy with the way that they look, I'll then flip it on its head and I'll say to them, okay, but what if I was to say to you, no matter what size you are, no matter what shape you are, no matter how you looked, if you were happy in yourself, would that be more important? And they say, yeah. So it shows that then it's the mental side of things that is more important than the body image side of things. And of course, obviously, because you have had this amazing transformation, that is going to lead to you having more confidence and you'll feel more comfortable in your own skin, which of course is what we want. But is it an important message to say to people that yes, that you should strive to be healthier, and to care about your appearance. But it's really actually what's going on here is the most important thing to focus on.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I think as well, it's finding the sort of balance with them. Like I do a lot of like boot camps. I go away to a lot of like military style sort of training, and that as well is for mentality. I go to a lot of them now where it's not about losing weight, it's about getting mentally stronger, you know, so I can kind of keep growing within my sort of fitness journey. But I went away to Portugal, prime example, and it was a different type of retreat. It was still very like military style training, but then there was wellness there. So it was like, you know, obviously your nutrition. So I was like eating vegan while I was there. We were doing yoga on the beach with the sunrise every morning. I was going down the beach and I was journaling. We were meditating. You know, we were doing all the external exercise, but we were doing all the inner work as well. And I came away from it and was like, this is it. That's the balance. It's about, you know, it's both. It's look after your body, but at the end of the day, if you are always trying to change the way you look for the external, you're never going to be happy. I have been like, you know, at my smallest, shall we say, and looked in the mirror and not been happy with what I'm seeing, and I've judged myself on everything, and that was just down to the fact that I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself inside, so it didn't matter, and I'll hold my hand up and I've had surgery, I've had my teeth done. I used to have loads of lip filler in. I actually got all my lip filler dissolved out. I got all my Botox dissolved out. And I was just like, enough is enough. Like, it's going to be never ending. It's going to be constantly like, you know, you're chasing for something that's all within. So I do think, yeah, it's definitely, you've got to consider that, like, even though changing outside is amazing, you're always going to find something to nitpick if you don't sort inside.
Yeah. No, 100%. I couldn't have said it any better. And again, it was when I have clients or people that I deal with, and so many of them who are 5 or 6 dress sizes smaller now than they were before, they say, well, I'm more self-conscious now than I was back then. And again, yeah, it's all to do with finding your why, finding why you're wanting to do these things. I had another question for you. I can't remember what it was now. That was it. So, right, with you've obviously went through this. Let's not go as far as saying it was we could. You say it's a little bit of a transformation, isn't it? As in finding out about yourself, finding out what is your why, what influence do you want to have in the world. From a personal standpoint, I've been through a similar thing, and one of the main things or main pieces of stick you get from that is a lot of people, I think, who haven't done it or who aren't going through it don't really understand it. So when someone who's came from a background like me then starts talking about yoga and doing things like these, I think a lot of people have these perceptions of what it is. And because, I suppose there is a little bit of a cliche about it. There is a little bit of this, oh, I've done yoga, my life has changed type thing. But then people are saying it maybe because it's true. So how important is it to just avoid these things and avoid the negatives and just stay true to you and your own journey?
Do you know what, like what you're saying, that is a prime example. So when I kind of stopped the drinking, stopped the partying, because for me all that sort of external madness was just to mask because I was unhappy inside. So when I was drinking and that, I'd be kicking off, I'd be crying, because it just brings all your emotions out. So when I took a step back from the drinking and I found myself, you know, trying to discover who I was after they've just come in actually and said Barcelona to Pastor. I went on an NLP course in 2017 and a hypnotherapy course, and that's what sort of sparked it for me. So I had like all these anxieties, and like I couldn't even I labelled myself, I'd be like, hi, I'm Imogen, I've got anxiety. It was absolutely bizarre, and I started doing hypnotherapy and doing timeline hypnotherapy and going proper inwards, going back and finding where all my triggers and my traumas were that were leading to me kind of doing these things. And that's when I had my light bulb moment and literally was like, oh my God, our mind's so powerful. Like if we just learn to understand it. So I got into like journaling, you know, hypnotherapy, meditating. I meditate every day. You know, I like to be out in nature, you know, go out on walks. That clears my mind massively. And I remember like I was you know, going out Instagram and being out like with me crystals down the beach, earth and my feet in the sand and doing my little thing. And someone messaged me and was like, Imogen, like, I really think you've had a breakdown. They were like, I think you need to stop it with all this meditating and journal and stuff. And I think, you know, you need to go back to fun, love and party girl Imogen that we all know and get yourself out and have a baby, because I think you need counselling, because I really think you've had a breakdown. And I was like, so actually the thing that actually was making me depressed and was triggering all my traumas, the drink, is the answer. But me actually working on myself and doing inner work is actually not. So I was like, no, I can't deal with this stigma. So that's why I have been a bit more like open about it and like, you know, said to people like, meditate, you know, sit with yourself, speak to someone, see coaches, go to, you know, meditation groups and things like that. There will always be people that don't understand it because they are not ready to experience it yet. But I think at some point everyone, you know, will be introduced to these things. Like, it's like no one knew what like Reiki was, say, a year ago. Now everyone's getting Reiki and everyone's meditating, everyone's doing yoga and stuff. So I think for the people who aren't ready to understand it, yeah, that's fine. Just, you know, accept that. That's where they're on their journey, but just don't let it affect you. You know, if you are drawn to doing these things or you are intrigued by these things and you want to learn more, explore them. Do you know what I mean? Explore them. They're good for you. So.
Yeah, amazing. No, I couldn't have said it better. So, yeah, again, it's about that, just staying true to yourself and on your own journey. But like you said, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. If you're staying true to yourself and doing what you want to do for the better of you and other people, that's all that matters. Now, a couple of things. So, I don't know if you have. I've kept I've kept an eye out on some of the comments to see if there could be any questions to look at.
Okay.
So this one ties into my final question of what is next for Imogen, and the question was, are you coming back to Ibiza Weekender?
I get it all the time. First of all, I'm 29, nearly 30. I don't think I could be running around Ibiza for much longer with 18-year-old kids holding their heads while they're spewing up down the toilets and stuff. Now, what's next for me? Do you know what? I'm going to be completely honest here and say I don't have all the answers yet. I really, really don't. But the direction that I'm going in is definitely more to spread awareness, and through my journey as well, to, you know, like you said, just show people that there's more to it than kind of aspiring just to, you know, live in a world which is either, you know, giving yourself a status on TV or Instagram, and, you know, kind of like even like down to like chasing money and things like that. Like, I think my journey's took me to a place where I'm just sort of rediscovering who I am and where I want to go. You know, I'm gutted. I was 2 weeks away from qualifying for my level 3 personal training. I only had an exam and assessment and they closed the gym. So my PT qualification is pending. Like I said, I've trained in NLP, which is coaching, and I've trained in hypnotherapy, and I'm going to go and do my masters in Barcelona when obviously all this lifts. I'm very much also delving into meditation as well. I'm going away to do a 10-day silent meditation retreat with the monks. So I'm going to go and sit with the monks for 10 days, no phone, no external, silent, and I'm going to, you know, learn the art of meditation through breath work. So right now, I'm just in the midst of wellness. I think I'm in the midst of healing myself and then finding me sparks and passions within that. But I think moving forward, and I've seen this bit of a vision over the last year, is finding a space where people can come and can explore all these things, down to training, learning about nutrition, learning about how to be self-sustained, how to cook and how to grow their own fruit and veg, you know, trying yoga, trying meditation. So that's sort of like where I'm headed now. So it's very, very exciting. It's not all definitely there yet, but I think one thing I've learned is to slow down. Like, we don't have to get it all figured out yet. I'm nearly 30, and like, when I was 18, I thought I had to have everything figured out. I'm nearly 30 now, and I'm like, yeah, it's all right. Don't worry, we'll get there when we get there. I think we froze.
Right, I'm back. So yeah, right. So I think you've probably summed this up in some of your responses. But if you had one takeaway message from everything that you've experienced throughout your journey, from the start of the Magaluf Weekender to going on to Ibiza Weekender, to all these experiences on the radio, meeting these big name artists, to taking a step away from the limelight and then focusing on you, how could you sum that up? What would be your takeaway message from anyone watching you who has followed your story?
My takeaway message would be, obviously go after the things that you love and go after the things that you're passionate about. So by no means am I saying, don't do this, don't do that. But all I'm saying is that, just to make sure that, like, you put yourself, your mindset and your heart first, just find the things that excite you, find the things that, spark a passion in you, and, not the things that you feel you have to do because everyone else is doing them. Everyone else is trying to be this, everyone else is trying to be that. Don't find validation in what everyone else is doing. Like, validate yourself. It's okay to be different as well. It's okay to step away from something that everyone else is doing because it doesn't feel right for you. We're not all here to strive to do the same things and strive to be the same people. We're all unique. We have our own stories. And you know what? It doesn't matter whether you're 18, you're 20, you're 30, you're 40, you're 50. If you're in a lifestyle or in a job or in a place where you think, I'm not at my happiest yet, or this isn't where I want to be, then it's okay to step out of it. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to want to change direction, and just trust in yourself and have the strength to do it, and you'll get there, and it'll be a pretty exciting ride, I promise you.
Brilliant. Well, one last thing I'd like to say, so again, just keeping an eye on some of the comments, I think it's amazing. So many people are showing so much love for you and saying, and followed your journey and say that it's an inspiration what you've been through. So I think the most important thing is to keep that going and to keep inspiring these people through doing your personal training, through doing your fitness and your exercise and your yoga, and then hopefully you'll get even more people wanting to buy into that, as opposed to buy, not that there's anything wrong with the lifestyle before, but buying into this new thing, and then hopefully being able to better themselves and better other people around them as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's buying into happiness. I think that's what it is. I know we all strive for materialistic things, and we strive for these jobs and this car and this house, but I think it always will come back to happiness. Just being happy within yourself. So
brilliant, amazing. Right, well, I think that's a really good point to finish off on. So I just want to say a big thank you for doing this. Again, I've said it throughout the video, I just think it's so important that people like yourselves will open up and share personal stories, but also share insights into what you've been through. But if any of this has been able to help anybody watching it, as well as obviously sharing your story, then I consider that a massive win. So I hope everyone's enjoyed it, and keep up to date with everything. Keep up to date with Imogen's PT business. We'll see what happens there.
I know, when the gym's open.
Okay, brilliant, amazing. Thanks, Imogen.
Thank you so much, Dan, and thank you everyone for watching as well.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Cheers.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed the episode, guys, and a massive thank you to Imogen as well. If there's one takeaway I could take from that audio, it's be kind to one another. In essence, don't be a dick. If you aren't already, please follow me on Facebook at Dan Hancock, the Mental Health PT, on Instagram at Mental Health PT. If you enjoyed the episode, get a screenshot of it, fire it up on your story, and spread the good word. Guys, until next time, take care.